Hi, Capricorn. I'm here to do your tarot reading today. I opened up a book that I had sitting here. I love this book. It's the Gnostic Young Seven Sermons of the Dead, and I opened it randomly for a message for you. And since this is your card, the Devil, it turned out to be pretty interesting what came up. It's the second sermon. And if you get this book, it's so lovely, especially all the discussion in the back. Let's see. Yes. It's talking about God and the devil, and then the God that's above both of those things, which they call Abraxas. Anyway, the effective emptiness is the being of the devil. God and devil are the first manifestations of the nothingness, which we call the pleroma. God and devil are distinguished by fullness and emptiness, generation and destruction. Activity is common to both. Activity unites them. It is for this reason that activity stands above both, being the God above the God, for it unites fullness and emptiness in its working. A lot to think about just in a couple sentences. But I think about this idea of God so much. And the fact that there's something above the God that we think of when we think of God and the devil, something even beyond and above that created these two ideas, and that these ideas would have always come about through manifestation. So your card is so powerful, Capricorn, the devil. We don't think of joy and lightness when we see the devil card. But that's okay. That's the effective emptiness. This is matter. This is a physical body. This is a human mind, and the lessons that come along with those ideas, those things. You know, he's sitting on this cube. He's perched on it with his goat legs, and it's that earth, that resistance that we get when we push down into the earth, when we put one foot in front of the other. When we walk on this earth, we get that resistance to our form, which is so needed. Here we see the lovers in all their naked vulnerability. They don't seem to be chained too tightly. In fact, they seem like they're enjoying this life here with its sin and temptation and fruit and fire. The land of doing, the land of mistakes. This card is ruled by Saturn, the taskmaster, the planet that gives us our hard lessons so that we can transform, so that we can grow. Lucifer is his name, and originally that meant the light bearer. So we can't have light without the dark. We've got to bring in that light, but into the darkness. We want to shine up the dark corners within ourselves. We want to also honor our shadows, our the places inside of ourselves that are like our curses, the curse of ourselves, but also the spark of ourselves, our personality, our healthy ego, all of it, honoring all of it and learning how to transform the things that, the habits and armoring that we build up, but out of curiosity, out of love for ourselves, not because we're whipping ourselves. We're not going to be the devil on ourselves, but we need this energy. We need you, Capricorn. Capricorn, you are in it for long game. You are in it for success. You're in it for, you're in it to win it. So let's see what comes up for you in a 10-card spread for the month of February. I'm going to put the devil back in the pile and shuffle just a little bit more. I've been shuffling a while now before the video, but let's just give it a couple more and then cut the cards. I'm going to put both feet down on the floor. You can do the same. Sitting up nice and tall. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Out the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more big breath. All the way down to the pelvic floor. And out. Cards. Capricorn, February 2018. Three of Wands. And Judgment, crossing that. Let's look at that for a moment. So the Three of Wands is the essence of February. Deep in noticing, deep in appreciating what you've done so far. This is not a complete idea. This is an energy that has done quite a bit already. Look at these actions. They're perfectly vertical. They're lined up a little bit behind him. He's already come through them. He's looking at these mountains in the distance thinking, that's where I need to go. I need to go further. I need to go into these hard places. What are the hard places that you're thinking about going into? Because you know, the devil knows. The devil knows that you need to go into the hard places to grow, to transform, to change, to become the best you. So he's looking at this mountains and thinking, I'm just going to take a little rest right now and formulate how I'm going to get there, because I'm going to get to the top. Capricorn always gets to the top, one foot in front of the other, steady, long game. This is you. This is long game energy, but not easy energy. And crossed with Judgment. Here again, I mean, this angel, think about it. This, not unlike, I'm sorry, my nose is itching. I'm such a cat and my hair is in my nose. This angel is not unlike our devil that we were looking at. It's time. That's what this card is saying. You want to keep formulating, but the cross is, it's time. Now's the time, and all the dead will come out for this. All the dead parts in you that you stuffed away and tried to close the lid on so that you didn't have to think about it, these hard mountains that you knew were coming, maybe even subconsciously. It's time to come out. It's time to open up the lids and let the dead come out. And maybe these are secrets that you're harboring. Maybe these are things you've done that you're ashamed of, or that you haven't completed, that you put on the back burner that you knew were going to come back. Yeah, I think this has something to do with you, your energy, where it goes in your life. Maybe work or relationship, could be either or both. But maybe you've been in avoidance. And the angel, maybe it's the light bearer, the devil, kind of like that, is sounding the call and saying, okay, now it's time. Now it's time. So come out and supplicate yourself, and let's look at you. Let's look at what you've done. Let's look at where you've been. Let's look at what you've done. And let's look at the energy of guide me, the energy of show me, the energy of I need help, the energy of I don't know, but my hands are open. My hands are open. This is a state of supplication in a way. This is a state of knowing that there's a power above and beyond you. You're a very hard worker. You're solid, stable, not much into the razzle dazzle, but you're into that steady going forward. And it looks like you've hit a little jog here where you maybe don't know the next steps. But judgment is saying it's time. It's time to look at the past. It's time to look at you deep within yourself, how you treat yourself, how you treat others. This doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it is a major thing. It is a major upheaval, and I want you to give yourself some time to pray, some time to be in that state of longing. And I don't mean praying to this God face up above, but hearing this call means being able to, rise to the call, to be able to listen and pray for guidance, and learn how to listen to that guidance. There's mountains here too. So these mountains suggest something a little more spiritual. They're purple. And these are also white. They're pure. It's wanting more purity. So if you've been engaged in some secret keeping or little white lies, harboring resentments, it's time to let them out in the open. Time to clean it up. Time to maybe ask for help from a higher power. Okay, let's see what is the destiny or goal for this month. Great. 3 of Cups. The goal is to free yourself of these harborings, these resentments, this stuff inside you, those dark corners, so that you can get to a place of freedom, a place of celebration, a vacation. Maybe you need to clear up some energy so that you can figure out a way to have more fun. Look at these 3. They're immersed in a dance. They're surrounded by fruits, a pumpkin. I mean, it's just great. They're in a blue sky day. This is the breath where you don't have to sit and ground yourself and think, okay, God, I'm just going to breathe in. Oh, and you're trying to be perfect and you're trying to fix things. And this is, you're not thinking about fixing. You're not thinking about anything. You're not in this energy of evaluating or thinking, how am I going to get to that top of that purple mountain? How am I going to be this beautiful, pure spiritual being, but still a human being? How am I going to be a good human being? This is an energy that is not worried about good or bad. It's not worried about all of that. It's not complex. It's not complicated. It's just friendly, good times. It's that breath that you have when you're not thinking about it, not trying to be aware. It's the breath that comes when you're immersed in curiosity, or you're immersed in the other. You're looking at a friend's face and you're both laughing, singing. I don't know, you've had a couple of drinks and you're a little bit buzzed and you're losing track of time. And that is good. It's very, very good. We want that. So that's the goal for this month. And that's the destiny of this month. So you can get there. But maybe this is saying we just need to clear up some of those dark corners inside of ourselves. Not be afraid to open up the lids on those. So here, what do you have to work with and own up to? Six of Pentacles in reverse. Who have you been giving your energy to? This is resources, money, time. Time is money. Who do you give your time to? What are the power structures in your life? Think about those. What are the power structures in your life? Are you constantly with your hands out, thinking that you don't have enough and angry at the people above you? I feel like this in reversal is a heightened sense of this card. Very heightened, almost getting to the point of desperation where some judgment needs to come in. Are you stuck in a power structure that's never going to change? Are you never going to get off your knees? Ironically, the body part that's associated with Capricorn, the knees, it's this kind of situation that brings you to your knees a lot of times. This, I'll never have enough. I'll never be in this person's shoes. I'll never have that balance. I'll never be on my own 2 feet. And for a Capricorn, that would be just terrible. And it would result in the emotion of anger. So embroiled in what looks like sadness and despair is anger. Look at the red faces. Look at the red hands. How can you turn this upside down? How can you upset this power structure, especially if you're on your knees? What kind of changes do you need to make? What kind of changes do you need to make? What would be effective fullness in your life? How would God show up in this situation for you? Or what would be effective emptiness? A Capricorn doesn't want to kneel. No, never. This is the goal. This is the goal. This is merriment. This is enjoyment. This, if you're bringing this to the table, if this is what you've got to work with, the time is now. The time is now to find out what it is within you. What it is within you that keeps this power structure in place. How can you upset it? Okay, what's in your past? Ooh. Another 6. Another 6. 6 of Swords is in the past, you felt like you had some really hard choices to make. And you've carried them a long way. You've carried the consequences of these choices a long way. You packed everything up, but you're still carrying it, and you're still working at it. You're still working at these problems. You're moving, which is great. You're moving. And you're communicating, but you're still holding on to this blackness, which also is the color of the devil. And it's going down into these really choppy waters. But you're looking onto the smooth. I think you thought that the choices you made were going to I think you thought the choices that you made were going to bring ease. Were going to bring ease. But they did in a way, but you had to sacrifice a lot. You had to kind of kill off a childishness within you. You had to grow up really fast, or you felt like you did. And you had to conceal your true self. You felt like you had to. I mean, maybe this goes back to your childhood, where you felt like you had to be the one that was responsible. You felt like you had to be the one that carried everyone else. Or maybe you just felt like you had to use your brain so much to get to land. That your emotions, maybe it's even your emotions, made you feel uncomfortable. Your emotions, maybe your childish needs, desires, wants, maybe for this kind of energy, more fun, more play. You had to kill those off, and perhaps it ended up in this, you on your knees, without enough, maybe. But that was then, and this is now. This is a little bit different. That was then. This is now. So you did get to land. It's just you're waiting now. You're assessing, you're evaluating. But February is saying now's the time to make the judgments, make the judgment call. How are you going to change? How are you going to get some freedom? How are you going to get some fresh air? How are you going to have this feeling that you can enjoy your accomplishments? You can enjoy your accomplishments, not always feeling this chore, that everything is a chore. Yeah. You know, life is a series of moments, and we can look at all these moments. I got to get through my job today. Then the dinner, the grocery, everything is a chore. Even maybe when you make art. I'm an artist, and sometimes I think, I got to make this piece. It's such a, oh my God, I get fearful, I get worried. And that is part of having a mind. But man, if we could just realize that life is a gift. Life is a gift. And we get on our knees in this way. We open up the lids and we say, take me, I'm yours. I'm ready for this. Help me. Look at me. Judge me, help me. It's openness to receiving. Good or bad, life is a gift. Let's see what's in the future. 10 of Cups. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Here was Cups, the goal, the destiny, and in your future, in your near future, here's a feeling of, look at these children. I mean, they don't even notice the cups. They feel the cups. They're engaged in the dance of love. It's loving. It's treating everything as loving. Cooking is loving. Going to the work, riding on the train or getting in your car, loving. Making the art, loving. Making that phone call, loving. Everything could be loving. That's beautiful. Money, making the money, giving the money, exchanging money could be loving if we looked at everything like an energy. This card is so beautiful. It's almost like this. I feel like this card is it unattainable? We think we see that in others, and we do see it. When have you felt this yourself? Think back. Sometimes it's the silliest little moments that you think, oh my gosh, I was so happy then. I'm thinking back to a time when I went to New York and I spent so much time with my good friend, and I was a lot younger. There were cute guys there, and this guy was like, I want you to throw these darts at this board and scream when you do it. And I kept doing it, and everyone got so excited, and I was so excited. I was just screaming and throwing these darts. But that was this feeling. Totally immersed in the moment. Complete and utter joy. It's this too. Complete and utter joy. And Capricorn, you're serious, you're steady, you have the goat steps, you're on that mountain, you're sideways. Man, you are incredible. But do you have joy? Do you ever just throw your arms up and skip around? It's coming. It's coming this month. Just notice it, though. Notice it. You have to allow it. You have to stick your arms out. There it is. Notice it. Have gratitude for it. How lovely. Okay, let's scoot these cards over a little bit. Okay. The Self. Woo! Ace of Swords. Awesome. This is you. for the month of February. Look at that. These are like little pieces of God's name floating down, and we already realize that God is above the God we think, the God of judgment, the devil. It's above that. This is a new thought. This is a new beginning with your thinking. And perhaps it goes back to what I was just saying. Not everything is a chore. Not everything is a bank account. Not everything is what you can get, what you can take, or what you give, or, it's new thinking about love, about how everything can be loving. And this is just going to come to you. It's going to seemingly fall out of the sky. And it's going to feel like a crowning moment when you can do that, when you notice how much you have already, how much you've already done already. This is looking at yourself with honesty, not whipping yourself, goading yourself, go on, do more, but this new awareness. And it's going to serve you. It's going to serve you when you go up into those mountains to get a little more spiritual knowledge. To clean yourself up a little bit, you go to the top of the mountain, right? Yogis do that. They go up to the top of the mountain, or they go into a cave in the mountain, and they clear up, they clean up. And this comes after that. This comes after that, because you've cleaned yourself up. This new way of thinking. It's compassion too. It's compassion. It's looking at this, the past, the things you've had to carry, the things you've seen in your life. It's compassion. It's forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. For maybe sharp words, sharp relationships. It's forgiving yourself for not letting yourself, for growing up too fast, for killing off the child within you. Forgiving yourself even for that. Because that's what you want the most. That's what you want the most. You want to feel happy. You want to feel completely happy. And you will. You will. Ooh. Environment. Three of Swords. Environment or other. I wonder if you're dealing with a broken heart, but because of an illness of someone close to you. Or a broken heart because of regret. Something regretful. Something regretful with yourself, or maybe some of you are dealing with a really hard time with illness close to you. When that happens, when we deal with looking at someone who has, my dad died a couple years ago of lung cancer, and it made me assess everything. It made me, look back on my life It made me think about what I'm doing with my energy. It made me think about everything I've eradicated in myself. And I wonder if you're not dealing with something like that. The Hermit. Hopes and fears. I wonder if you've been in this state of maybe it's felt stagnant to you. Maybe you felt like you're a bump on a log, with this Three of Wands. Maybe you feel like you're just been waiting too long. But again, I think this Hermit, Nine is that hard mastery number. Maybe you've been taking this time to figure out what is your light? What are you bringing to people? What are you bringing into the world? Your spark, your light, your you. Do you like it? Do you like you? Do you enjoy what you're giving, bringing, what you hold in your lantern, this light? This is definite earth energy. It's normally the Virgo card, but it would go with Capricorn. I mean, he's not going to stop stepping even though the snow is cold. He's got this golden staff. He's learned a lot about himself. And I think that you're, through this judgment, through this sounding of this trumpet and really looking at yourself, forgiving yourself, having compassion for yourself, realizing that everything you do is just loving. Even if it's empty, even if it feels dark, black. Maybe you fear that you won't find out what you really love. Maybe you've been fearful that you won't find out what makes you feel like this, what makes you feel completely immersed and completely in gratitude. Maybe you're fearful that you won't find that light within yourself. But that is your hope. That is your hope. Ooh. So, the outcome card, Page of Swords. Interesting. So down here with you, we have the Ace of Swords. That's a new beginning, a new way of thinking. And here we have the Page of Swords, who's bringing in a message. A little bit of a message. But there's some hemming and hawing here. There's some energy that is a little bit, it's totally different, but a little bit stuck, but totally different way of being still, right? This part of his body is going forward and part of it is going back. There's redness in the face and hands. Seems to be holding his breath a lot. There's birds up here, which symbol for intuition. There's lots of them up there. And they're sending the messages. They're sending the messages. Maybe the birds are the messages. The birds are holding these messages Your intuition is holding the messages, and you want to keep looking back and not, you want to keep looking back and not be in flow. Everything is moving around you. Everything is gathering. The clouds are gathering the rain. The land seems to be moving underneath his feet. Blue sky. This is throat. This is throat chakra. This is ethereal energy. This is, your throat chakra is all about expression and creativity. Seems to be holding his mouth closed. I wonder if you're actually letting your thoughts come out. Maybe you haven't been speaking your truth. Something about your thoughts coming out your mouth here. Maybe you've been in this hermit energy too long, or you fear that you have, and it's time to give a message from your intuition. Maybe the practice is not overthinking. The practice maybe is hearing the messages from your intuition, your gut, and speaking. Maybe that will upset this power structure that's keeping you on your knees. Speaking. It's kind of a big reading for you, Capricorn. To close off, I want to teach you a pranayama, a breath practice for anger. Also very good for the throat chakra. Okay? We curl our tongue in it. And it's called Sitali Pranayama. It's a cooling breath. Anger is the emotion of Capricorn. And there was a lot of red faces in this, especially that Page of Swords. Overthinking, not speaking. So we breathe in through the curled tongue. We close our mouths and then breathe out long through the nose. Close your eyes. Breathe in through the curled tongue. Out through the nose. Through the nose. One more in. Inhale through both nostrils. Out the mouth. Again, in through both nostrils. Once again, in. Thank you so much for tuning into this. I think the theme is now is the time to change your way of thinking, to accept a new way of thinking. It's already there. That everything you do is love. Everything you do is love. And just that could upset weird power structures in your work or your energy or what you're giving out. Ask for help. Ask for guidance. Accept the judgment. Accept the judgment. And honor your light. Find it and honor it and give it and share it and speak it. Speak it. That cooling breath would be a great practice. 3 minutes, up to 11 minutes. I mean, they say that 31 minutes of that can change your whole life. So, anyway, I thank you so much. Love. Bye.